Hi, I'm Chris Duel. Welcome to Duel After Dark. Why after dark? Because I've always preferred the nighttime. I've always felt a certain calm at night. Maybe because many of the people on this side of the planet where it's dark tend to be asleep at night, and all the daytime activity is on the other side of the planet. So I think it's an opportunity to be a bit more contemplative and a bit more introspective at night. And somebody I read a lot at night and continue to do so, the late great mythologist Joseph Campbell. I think I've got every book he's ever written, and I've read them several times. I think I've got every video and audio he's ever released or that have ever been released about him. What's amazing to me about Joseph Campbell is he spent his entire life studying all the world's religions and all the world's mythologies and folklore since the beginning of recorded history. And one of the things that he did in his book, The Hero with 1,000 Faces, which was released in the late 1940s, is he discovered a thread. He discovered a path, and he called it the hero's journey or the hero's quest. And this actually inspired people like George Lucas when he created Star Wars, and countless other filmmakers, screenwriters, novelists, storytellers. And the reality is that not just fictional characters, but we, on our journey through life, are on this trajectory, on this hero path. And if you read Joseph Campbell, if you know what the progression of the hero quest and the hero's journey is, you can see kind of signposts along the way, which is fascinating. He even tied this in to the work of the psychologist Carl Jung and tapped it into the psyche and the collective unconscious. It's fascinating stuff. So recently on Facebook, I see these all over Pinterest and all over the internet, little memes that will say something like one of Joseph Campbell's most famous adages or admonitions, which is follow your bliss. And after reading all of Joseph Campbell, knowing that this is one of his biggest conclusions to all of his life's work, which is therefore all of the world's religions, folklore, mythologies, life wisdom, it's to follow your bliss. But a Facebook friend of mine wrote in the thread, "Oh, come on, let's not keep saying follow your bliss again until it gets sickening." And I thought, sickening? I didn't know it got sickening. And I thought about it, I thought maybe to some people who don't know the background, follow your bliss might be trite. It might sound like peace, love, dope, or something like that. So there is a longer version. There are many longer versions if you read Campbell, but there's a longer version of follow your bliss that I then posted for people who might not really grasp what follow your bliss means. And here it is. I'll read it for you. In the words of Joseph Campbell, if you do follow your bliss, you put yourself on a kind of track that has been there all the while, waiting for you. And the life that you ought to be living is the one you are living. When you can see that, you begin to meet people who are in the field of your bliss, and they open doors for you. I say, follow your bliss, and don't be afraid, and doors will open where you didn't know they were going to be. So many of us through life are involved in things that are not our bliss, maybe work-wise, maybe just going through life, and we're going, this is not my bliss. And I think there's a certain fear associated with following your bliss. I mean, can I do that? I really love doing that, but will people make fun of me if I want to write, if I want to sing, if I want to get involved in dance or this level of athletics or whatever it is, whatever you, knitting, crocheting, riding bicycles, whatever you find blissful, you should do more of that. And I think if you do more of that, eons of human history suggest good things will happen to you. A final quote from Joseph Campbell that I think you might like is this one. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasures you seek. It almost seems like your bliss is often, there's fear associated with going after your bliss and following it. It's like it's in a dark cave, and you fear to enter that cave. But when you do, you'll be surprised the good things you can find in that dark cave. Loves me some Joseph Campbell. If you want to learn more about Joseph Campbell, a great thing to find is the PBS series that really made him famous after his death. The series The Power of Myth that he did with Bill Moyers on PBS. There's also a book that gives you the text version, but Joseph Campbell's so great with the spoken word. You want to hear him deliver a lot of this. And a book that's not on a lot of people's radar. It's a compilation of his thoughts that was put out many, many years ago. And I've had many copies of this, and I've given it away. There it is. It's called Reflections on the Art of Living. It's a Joseph Campbell companion, and selected and edited by Diane K. Osbon, Osbon. But this is like his life wisdom piled into a book from his lectures at Esalen and other locations, and it's just rich and it's amazing. So I hope it doesn't sound trite, and I hope we're not running it into the ground by saying it. But my last words for you would be Joseph Campbell's words: follow your bliss. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I'd like to know what you think. Comment, write me back, let me know, and please follow your bliss. See you later.